Hi, I'm Taru and welcome to my channel IELTS with Taru. In this video, we'll be talking about the IELTS Writing Task 2 question, that is the essay, and it's about the agree or disagree type. And I'll be talking about how can we approach these type of essay questions, plan and write. Um, in case you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so because I have shared my experience, my learnings, and the things which I use to prepare for my IELTS exam. So I hope you find it useful because the content is really good. I mean, if you can check it out for yourself. So consider subscribing if you find that it fits your requirement. All right, let's start. So the agree or disagree essay questions, they can come in both academic training or the general training. The only difference is that they are worded differently, and the topics in academic training are more abstract, whereas in general they are like the day-to-day topics. So let's have a look for the 80. Some people believe that unpaid community service should be compulsory part of high school programs. For example, working for charity, improving the neighborhood, or teaching sports to younger children. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Yeah. Whereas in GT, the question is something like this. In the future, more people will choose to go on holiday in their own country and not travel abroad on holiday. Do you agree or disagree? So you see, here the question is like to what extent do you agree or disagree? And here it says to do you agree or disagree? And of course, the timing is the same. It's 40 minutes for both. And you have to write at least 250 words. Here, the question is like more on abstract, directly related to society. Here it is like general, like, the day-to-day topic. So for the purpose of this video, I'll be focusing on the 80 question. So I'll be talking about how can we approach these type of essay questions. And this approach which I'm going to just share is, can be applied to any type of writing task to essay. The first thing is that we have to identify the question. What is the question asking? Is it asking for an opinion? Is it asking for a problem solution or what? Then underline the keywords in the question statement, followed by analyzing the question statement, that we have to read and see what is the question about and decide whether you agree or disagree. Then plan, followed by writing, and finally proofreading. So let's start. So first step, identify the question. So this is an agree or disagree question. Here we can see it clearly. So we identified it. It's quick and easy. Then we underline the keywords. Unpaid community service, compulsory part of high school. And in here I will underline some examples, extent, agree or disagree, and of course the timings, words, and the examples that I have to give. Now, the purpose of underlining is that it will help me to paraphrase. It will help me to identify the synonyms or the vocabulary which I'll be able to use. And also here, when I underline these examples, I mean, I can use these examples to illustrate or to support my topic sentence, to support my idea, but not necessarily. I can also take an example from my experience. So you need not necessarily use these. You can also use from your own experience or knowledge. Now, the third is that now after analyzing, so what is the question asking about? That asking about like whether unpaid community service should be part of compulsory part of high school curriculum or not. So it's a kind of opinion essay, and now I have to decide whether I agree or disagree. Now, I am going to completely agree with this, and you are free to disagree as well. And there's this question which has come up a lot of times, that do we have to write, if I agree, do I have to write the other view as well? No, you don't have to write. You can either agree or disagree. And the thing is that you can also go in like for the partial or the balanced view, but that requires a different skill set in terms of writing. So to be on the safe side, to get the task response 7, and I think you can either agree completely or disagree. And this is the, I would say, the best approach to get a band 7. Of course, keeping in mind the other criteria or the band descriptors such as the lexical resource, grammar, the coherence and cohesion. But for task response 7, this approach is perfectly fine and safe. Now comes the major part of our essay, that's the planning. Ah, so we see how we plan the essay, and this constitutes a very important part. And what happens is, like, when we see the question, we just jump on writing. Please don't do that, because uh, you will have ideas. If you have, like, you will have a number of ideas, but when it comes to writing, you have to structure your thoughts. And in order to structure the thoughts, you have to plan accordingly. And by planning, I don't mean that you have to write in full sentences, just points. So I'm going to tell you what you have to plan, so that when you practice these type of questions at home, then you know, okay, these are the things I have to keep in mind when I plan. So in my case, I plan my stance is that I completely agree. Introduction, you have to paraphrase and give your opinion with the reasons in brief, because I'll be giving two reasons. BP1, the body paragraph 1, I give the topic sentence, that's the first sentence. The reason number 1, why I agree. So this will give a signal to the reader that, okay, this is why I agree, and this is what this paragraph will contain about. So I'll explain it, I'll support it with example, and I will write an ending sentence that will link it back to my topic sentence. Same goes for the body paragraph 2. And then finally, the conclusion, where I'll summarize the main points and restate my opinion. So this is how you have to plan. Yeah, when you see this type of question, this is what you have to plan. So this is what you have to write. The topic sentence, why, yeah, and then explain. To explain, you can think like how or why. Why do you think this is the reason? Why is it linked? Yeah, and then an example. And for the purposes of example, you can give an example. I mean, if you have an example from your own personal experience, you're free to give that. Just try to generalize it. Avoid using the personal pronouns when you give the examples. Now let's start. So this is how I will plan. So when I see it, I identified, I underline, and then I'll start planning. So I take the stand, agree, I paraphrase and give my opinion. So high school curriculum, and that's the reason I underlined. So high school curriculum, high school program, high school curriculum, nice synonym for programs. Should or should not, that means yeah, ought to or should not include. It's an opinion. Incorporate or include. And I agree, because the two reasons which I will be focusing upon is that the students require soft skills and employment possibilities or opportunities. You see, I'm not writing the full sentences, and this is just for the purposes of illustration that I'm writing the full words in here, but you don't have to. You just write down the main points, but do write it, because when you write this and when you finally start writing your essay, this structure, this approach will really, really help. Okay. Then for the body paragraph 1, and keep looking at the question again and again, because the more you look, the more structure your thoughts will become. And that's the whole idea. You have to be clear and concise. The topic sentence, volunteering work, skills gain, benefit. It can give you extra credits when you apply in universities and for jobs. So why? Because it's important for career prospects. You stand a chance, stand apart from the rest of the crowd. Example, and ending, where I link my end sentence of the body paragraph to my topic sentence. Similarly with body paragraph 2, and then in my conclusion, again, restate my opinion and the main points. Now I have my plan ready. Now is the time I start writing. And this is how the whole essay looks like. So the introduction, as I said, it's an opinion essay. So I start like this. opinions differ regarding whether high school curriculums should incorporate unpaid work. I wholeheartedly believe that community service ought to be included as it helps in enhancing students' soft skills and is beneficial for employability. Introduction done. I just paraphrased the question statement and I gave my opinion and mentioned by mentioning the two reasons in brief. It is enhancing soft skills and beneficial for employability. Now, the body paragraph one, my topic sentence. Volunteering work can benefit the high school students when applying for extra credits in universities for further studies or in their career prospects. The skills explain. The skills gained through volunteering would boost an individual's career and could make them stand out from the rest of the crowd. Support with an example. For instance, prospective employers seek candidates who, besides having relevant academic qualifications, also demonstrate practical experiences such as effective communication and interpersonal skills. Close. So don't leave your paragraph ending by just an example. Close it. Therefore, the long-term benefits of community service at high school cannot be ignored. So you see, it's a well-rounded paragraph and it has all the points for a good TR. The next body paragraph also follows the same approach. So topic sentence. Community work also aids in the development of students' soft skills. These skills can be acquired when students interact with people in different settings or situations. How? Give an example. For example, it should be a comma here. Teaching maths problem solving to children in an underprivileged neighborhood can help students hone their communication skills as they learn to interact and teach children. Now, I have added additionally, students also develop a sense of empathy by understanding the problems and difficult situations faced by the disadvantaged children. Because empathy is also a type of soft skill, and then ending, thereby gaining an insight of other people's perspective and trying to come up with solutions to solve those issues. And finally, this is my conclusion, which is this. In conclusion, I strongly favor the inclusion of unpaid community work as part of the high school curriculum. Again, my opinion, due to the opportunities for career enhancement and the accompanying practical skills that a student acquires. I'm done. And what helped me writing this essay is my planning, is my approach. So that is a very crucial step when you attempt these kind of questions. So even when you're practicing at home, please plan. It really, really helps. Okay, but we are not done yet. There is one very important step, and that is here, which is proofread. So you see, when I proofread, I can identify the spellings, the grammar, or other vocabulary or other mistakes. Like for example, has to be a comma here. And mind you that in the computer delivered test, there is no auto spell check. You know the that we have in the Word, Microsoft Word. So watch out for that. So that's why proofreading is very, very important, even in paper-based tests, paper delivered mode. Okay, so this brings us basically to the end of this video lesson. I hope that you found it useful. And in case you have any questions or doubts, please post your comments in the please post them in the comment section below, and I'll try my best to help you out, and I'll keep posting such videos um, based upon my experience, and I'll share my learning so that is exam. So consider subscribing and watch my other video lessons. The content is good, you can check yourself. Until then, good luck with your preparations, and I see you next time with another useful video. Bye.